YouTube. Good morning, everyone. I'm Akshay Dubey, and with me I have Shreya Singh. And today we'll be assisting Krish Naik Sir throughout the session. So, first, let me give you a short introduction of Krish Naik Sir. We are excited to welcome our guest speaker, Krish Naik Sir, for the lecture series. Krish Naik Sir is a Chief Innovation Officer at iNeuron.ai. He has been working in the software development and project implementation from last 9 years, and he has experience of 6+ years in the data science industry, focusing on business analysis, design, migration of large scale, big budget business transformation projects. And as we all know, Krish Naik Sir runs his own YouTube channel named Krish Naik, where he uploads interesting videos on data science, machine learning, and deep learning. And Krish Naik Sir was a data science lead at Panasonic before joining iNeuron.ai. So let's start. Krish Naik Sir, you can now take over and please enlighten us with your knowledge.
Okay. Thank you. I hope I'm audible, right?
Yeah, you're audible, sir.
Okay, perfect. Just give me a second. Mm. Okay, guys. So quickly, just a small introduction about myself. Hello, everyone. My name is Krish. I'm a YouTuber. Apart from that, I'm also a Chief Innovation Officer in iNeuron. So what exactly we are going to do today is that basically get to know about a lot of things, with respect to end-to-end life cycle of a data science project, and we'll try to understand what all things are important as being a data scientist and what all things you can actually learn. So again, this is just a small brief introduction about myself. I've been working for more than 9+ years in this particular field. The overall experience is 9+years, and more than 6+years I'm actually working in this specific field. Now, coming to the next step, what all things we are going to learn and try to understand what are the various roles in data science, and probably we'll try to understand how is the entire life cycle of a data science project or the pipeline that is being created, so that you'll get an understanding probably, and we'll try to see that if I get time, I'll also show you some of the practical implementation. So, as you all know, that there are various roles and responsibilities in data science altogether, and it's not like only a data scientist work in a data science project. There are many things. There are like data science projects, requirement gatherings. You have to do various things. So what we'll do is that we'll just try to learn this like a story. What all things actually happens and how it actually happens. So to begin with, what happens is that initially, when they are usually what kind of companies that we have seen are basically like product-based companies or service-based companies. In product-based companies, what we do is that you have various departments, right? And in each and every department, they come up with a problem solution. They come up with a problem statement, and probably that particular problem statement needs to be solved by a data science team. Whereas in service-based companies, you basically have clients from different places, and based on that, you actually try to see that what all things can be implemented around, right? So initially, whatever we do, what we do is that main thing that we focus on is basically coming up with a data science project. The second step that we go over here is basically called as a requirement gathering. In requirement gathering, usually what happens is a domain expertise or the product owner along with the business analyst, they sit together. Then they try to decide like what all the requirements needs to be gathered based on the data science project. And this usually they follow an agile process. So every sprint they try to come up with the new stories, and they will be making the entire plan like that. Then once this requirement gathering, and obviously this domain expertise of product owner will definitely belonging. These are the people who will be the owner of this project itself. From that specific company, from that specific department, they may be. Then after this, what happens is that this entire requirement gathering is basically sent to the data analyst or data scientist. Uh, this data scientist and data analyst, along with the domain expertise and product owner, they do a lot of discussion, and finally they come to a conclusion like what all data is actually required in order to solve this specific project. And whenever they think about data, data can be from many parts, like cloud or third party APIs. It may be from databases, it may be from it may be from some third party APIs altogether. Probably inside the internal database also they may be having those kind of data. Then finally they take out all this particular data. Then what they do is that they contact the cloud engineering team, because cloud engineering team will also be focusing on how to handle the live stream data, right? And apart from that, you have big data team. What they do is that they try to combine this entire information, and then they come to a conclusion that okay, how do we need to save this specific data itself, right? Then coming to the life cycle of a data science project, now this is the step. Till here, your big data engineering team will come. But still, as we seen, like how many new roles we have seen over here. One is domain expertise, one is product owner, one is business analyst, one is data analyst or data scientist. Then again, you have a cloud engineer over here. You have big data engineers over here. So this many roles we have actually come up with whenever we are working in a data science industry. Now, let's go ahead and try to understand, first of all, the work of a data analyst. Then again, I'll be coming up with respect to big data engineering teams and all. So, data analysts, what all programming languages they focus on? I think right now, most of the data analysts, they will be focusing on Python or R programming language, because they have a lot of statistical libraries which you can actually work. Okay. And coming to the next step that you see, some of the business intelligence tools are also used by them, like Tableau, Power BI, ClickView, Dundas, Pentaho. So this visualize business intelligence tools are very, very important, because it will actually help you to understand in this way, that it will help you to create some amazing visualization report, so that they come to the stakeholders will be able to come to a conclusion by seeing your uh, entire information, right? So this is very, very important altogether. Now, when you are working with the business intelligence tool, it is always necessary that you know it is not like you need to know all the business intelligence tool. You need to basically have the knowledge of some of the important business intelligence tool. So that business intelligence tool uh, will be able to display different kind of reports, and I will see like what kind of stakeholder decision can be made. That also will be having over here. Now, let's go to the next slide. Now, in the next slide here, you can see that these are some of the reports that are created by business I mean the data analyst itself, where they probably will be able to make, and these all reports are basically sent to the stakeholders. Now, let me just give you a very good example. Suppose I'm working in a bank, and bank wants to open an ATM center in a specific location. So what all things needs to be considered when they want to open this kind of ATM centers, right? So first of all, they'll try to see that how many people in the surrounding area are basically taking out money from the nearest ATM. What is the frequency? How much money is basically taken up? Because they really need to look at the cost of the things that are happening with respect to the electricity bill and all, also, so that it will be getting covered up. So if we try to create this kind of reports and send it to them, so what will happen is that they will be able to see, okay, it's working in the absolutely right manner. Okay, we can take that particular decision from this date. We can open the ATM centers itself, right? So this was one of the example. And again, still we are in the data analyst work itself. Now, similarly, we have something called as Tableau reports. So Tableau reports are also something like this. These are the two common business intelligence tools that are basically being used. And again, there are many business intelligence tools also apart from that, right? Then you have technical skills required. What are the technical skills required? Are like basic mathematics and statistics, programming skills, domain knowledge, data understanding, ETL tool knowledge, Power Query for Power BI, identifying the structured and unstructured data. He should be very, very good in exploratory data analysis and many more things, right? So these are some of the very, very good things that need the technical skills that the data analyst should have. Okay, and I think most of them know about this, right? How maths and statistics can play a very important role whenever they are working with as a data analyst itself, right? Now, some of the career prospects of data analysts are like market research analyst, actuary, business intelligence developer, business analyst, budget analyst, credit analyst, data warehousing. Now, one thing that you see over here, guys, is that whenever I'm talking about this all skills, right, you see that it is based on your domain knowledge. Okay, it is based on so many different kind of domain knowledge, right? If you're good at finance, probably you can become a finance analyst. If you are good at HR, you can become a good HR analyst. This is all about exploring the data over there and properly making very good decisions with respect to that, right? Now, what are the non-technical skills that are required? He should be a very good storyteller. He should be very, very good at research. Communication skills should be very good. Problem solving and teamwork. I think these are some general things that many people will be having, right? Now, over here, let's come to the next step, that is the work of the data scientist, right? Now, till here we understood it, then I increase the step, and probably a big data engineering team will now try to combine this particular data and probably store this data efficiently, right, over here. And this efficiently basically means storing it in the databases, storing it in different databases like MongoDB or Hadoop, HDFS, or different kind of databases like AWS S3 and all, right? Now, coming to the next step, now let's understand the transition from a data analyst to data scientist. See, once you become a data analyst also, it is not, and first major difference that you need to understand, that what is the difference between a data analyst and data scientist? See guys, a data analyst work can be done by a data scientist, whereas a data scientist work cannot be done by a data analyst, because data scientist focuses on model building, creating algorithms, deployment of the models efficiently, making the model scalable, finding a retraining approach, and many more things, right? So if I go one step ahead, first of all, life cycle of a data science project. Initially, I told you data analyst will take that data, he'll do some EDA, and he'll focus on doing reporting. After doing reporting, he will be showing this entire reports to the stakeholder, and the stakeholder will make this specific decisions, right? Now, if I go here, now here is where your data scientist will be entirely coming up, So they have something called a life cycle of a data science project. So you have feature engineering, feature selection, model creation, hyperparameter tuning. So what are model feature engineering you basically have? You have like exploratory data analysis, handling missing values, handling outliers, categorical encoding, normalization, and standardization. So these are some of the steps that we perform in feature engineering, because every time you don't get a very clean data, data will be very, very worse in some of the scenarios, and it will be very, very bad. At that time you really have to perform EDA, handling missing values, handling outliers, categorical encoding, normalization, and standardization. Similarly, you have feature selection. In feature selection, it basically says that not all the features are important in a data science project. No, you need to find out which all features are basically important in order to solve a particular specific problem. Okay. Now, coming to this, if you go in the right hand side, you can see in the next step that you have something called as model creation. In model creation, you basically have hyperparameter tuning. You have techniques like rich search CV, randomized search CV, Keras tuner, Bayesian optimization, hyperopt, genetic algorithms, and optuna. Remember, guys, these all things are available in my playlist. I've already created all these videos, how you can hyperparameter tune your model and what all things you can actually do. Okay. Then you have Dockerization. Suppose you want to deploy a model efficiently or make it scalable. So you use two techniques. One is Dockerization and one is Kubernetes. Kubernetes actually helps you to make your model scalable. And so that is the next step that I have written over here with respect to model deployment. Some of the clouds that we use in order to do the model deployment are like Heroku platform, Azure, Google Cloud, AWS. And then final step is basically model monitoring and retraining approach. Now, model monitoring and retraining approach, what happens is that you try to continuously retrain your model as new data gets continuously collected. Okay, so these are the entire steps of a life cycle of a data science project. And coming to the next thing is that which all programming languages you should focus on as a data scientist. One is Python, R programming, and Julia programming language. And then you have databases to learn like MySQL, MongoDB, Elasticsearch, Hadoop, Google Big Table, Amazon S3, Cassandra, and Hive. See, guys, I've worked in databases like MySQL, MongoDB, Amazon S3. I've worked extensively in Amazon S3. I've worked in Cassandra. I have not worked much in Hadoop because I have been working in Amazon S3. This will definitely, if you are trying to work in this, I think you'll be able to understand a lot of things, because when compared, Hadoop is a completely open source. Amazon S3, because many of the companies are definitely using Amazon itself, right? Libraries and tools to be good at. You have NumPy, Pandas, sklearn, Matplotlib, Seaborn, Dask, SciPy, Keras, TensorFlow, PyTorch, NVIDIA CUDA. So NVIDIA CUDA is important because whenever you really want to work with GPUs and all, at that time, you have to understand that NVIDIA libraries will be required, CUDA libraries will be required in order to access the GPU, and NVIDIA is doing an amazing work in creating all these things. I think at one specific point of time, Nvidia will be the industry leader, where they will be providing services with respect to training a model and work. Okay. Then you have IDs, integrated development environments, which are being used by data scientists like PyCharm, Jupyter Notebook, Anaconda, Spider, VS Code, and many more. Okay. Now, considering this, guys, let me just okay. Let me just talk about it just a second. Yeah. So remember, most famous ID out of this is basically PyCharm. So people use PyCharm, and again, it depends on people to people. Some people like spiders, some people like Jupyter, some people like VS Code. Okay, but yes, it's up to your decision. Like whichever is better for you, take that. It will not be forcibly selecting some of the things. Then cloud platforms that are basically used are Microsoft Azure, AWS, Google Cloud Platform, Heroku, Cloud Foundry, and out of all this, guys, I have worked in three clouds extensively. One is Microsoft Azure, AWS, and Google Cloud Platform. So these three sessions, this three cloud I have worked extensively. More extensively that I have worked is in AWS than Microsoft Azure than Google Cloud Platform. I was working in some of the some of the devices like Alexa and Google Home. At that time, I used Google Cloud Platform for that. Alexa plus all the machine learning projects that I have done in AWS and Azure. Okay, so this was it. This is also called as CI/CD pipeline. CI/CD pipelines is just a part of DevOps, guys. So that just by click of button, you should be able to deploy the model efficiently. So for that, we use Circle CI and Jenkins, which is again very good itself. Now coming to this, different roles in analytics industry. So we have something like data analyst, data scientist, machine learning engineers, machine learning researcher. Then you have AI engineer and computer vision developer. But when you compare with respect to data analyst, at that time you will be able to see that more number of roles are actually present in data analyst when compared to data scientist, right? Yes. Just a second, guys. Just give me a second, okay? Just okay. Just give me a second, guys. 1 second, okay? Just give me 10 seconds, please. Just a second. Okay, sorry guys, just someone had come. Okay, let's continue. Now, as I said that with respect to the data analytics, with respect to the roles that we have seen in data analyst and data scientist, you can see that more roles are actually present in data analyst. But with respect to data scientist, these are all the roles that you have. And again, because as a data scientist, you can work in anything that you want. You can also work as a data analyst itself. You can work on everything as you want. Okay, so yes, these are the different real roles in analytics industry. Let's go to the next slide. One and the final thing that is very much important is continuous learning. You have to learn continuously. You have to understand one thing is that data science, if today you are learning, it does not mean that tomorrow you don't have to learn. Once you get into data science, then your main learning starts, and it is very important that your learning should never stop. Okay, so based on that, please make sure that always you have to learn continuously. That is the major thing. And with respect to this, your learning should never stop itself. Because if you think that today, no, I become a data scientist, tomorrow I don't have to learn anything, then you are absolutely wrong. Okay, every day you have to learn. Okay, so this was the slide. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to share you some end-to-end data science project. Just give me a second. Till then, I'll just set up the environment. Okay, And probably we can actually show you that particular project. Just give me a second. I'll just set up the environment and show it to you. Are you able to see my screen? I guess guys, just dropped me a message, I guess. Yes. Uh, yeah. Now, this is one of the example of the projects which I'm actually talking about. It is a completely end-to-end project. This is called as cotton disease predictions. Inside this, we had a data set of train, test, and validation. Usually, we divide this kind of data set, and this is simple image classification problem. So you have all your images over here, and probably I've also done this project in my live stream playlist in my YouTube channel. Okay. Now here, what our aim is that I've created so many models in order to basically check out like how to classify this specific image in a proper way. Okay, so for this particular case, what I've done is that how we divide this particular file. This was my entirely training file. So this entirely code is with respect to training. This is basically an image classification transfer learning technique that I have used. This was simple CNN that I've used over here. Okay. Apart from this, if you go and see, I've implemented Inception V3, then I've implemented Resonate 50. I've implemented so many other techniques that we have actually over here. And out of this, I just went and saw this performance metrics. And by that, I found out that Inception V3 was actually working very nicely because we are getting a good training and validation accuracy with respect to this kind of images. Okay. Apart from that, what I did is that then I went and created one app.py, which is basically my Flask functionality. I created a web app wherein I was able to provide an image path and then try to predict it. So in order to execute it, what I'm going to do is that I'll go to my Anaconda prompt and then I'll just activate my environment, TFOD, and then I'll try to run that file. Let's see. So I'm just going to run that particular file. It is deep learning. Cotton disease, and again this can be used in industries. I'll go to my E drive, I'll make cd this over here, and then finally I'll write python app.py. Suppose I'm just running it to just show you how this project works. I may get an error because probably I think I was created in different environment, but understand this will completely run in my GPU. So what kind of GPU I have, if you want to see it, just go to my performance. Here you can see this is my GPU. So this is my entirely GPU. So this was my dedicated GPU, right, of 24 GB. This was gifted by NVIDIA itself. I had a GPU called as NVIDIA Titan RTX. Because of this, I was very thankful to them because they helped me out. The reason they helped me out because I was uploading so many videos for people like you all and all. So because of that, they like that specific work. So I'll go to this particular IP now, 127. 5001. And again, if you really want this materials, just go and search for cotton disease. This one, probably you'll be getting in my YouTube channel. Now here, this is a just example of AI demo. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to choose an image. Probably I'll go to the same location. Just let me go. I'll go to the same image. Let's try it from the validation data set. Suppose I select this particular image. I do a prediction. Probably, I don't know whether it will fail because I've been running after so many days. Okay, let me just reload it. I think there was an issue. Yeah. So now if I try to load it and probably try to predict it, I think, okay, could not imprint pill. So this particular library issue is coming. Let's see what I'll do. I will try to install pillow. Okay. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to install pillow. I think I had executed in my other environment, so because of that, this issue is coming. Let's see. Now I think it should not come. Okay, now it is working fine. Let me just reload this. Now I'll put this image and do probably a predict. Now I think it should work. Just a second. See this, guys. So the leaf is diseased cotton plant, right? We had added that specific leaf, right? This is present inside diseased cotton leaf. Now, when I open it and probably predict it, here you'll be able to see that the leaf is diseased cotton plant. So similarly, I've created so many projects and all of them are actually uploaded in my YouTube channel. This is just to give you an idea how this is just a simple image classification. Probably I may create this web app, apply it in one of the portal, provide this kind of functionalities to various people, right? So this is the way how you should actually do it. What all things are there importantly, you see, here I have my h5 file. This is basically my model file. I have a proc file so that I'll be able to deploy this in Heroku. If I want to do this deployment in AWS, there is a different technique altogether. You have to create requirement.txt. So requirement.txt these are all the packages that you'll probably require in order to implement this. So this requirement.txt will be installed over there in your environment, and then probably you'll be able to use this, right? So this was just an example of this. And again, if you really want to check out my YouTube channel, so if you search for Krish Naik live stream playlist, okay, here you'll be getting your entire projects that I have actually done here. See this. So this is my entire projects completely from end to end. All this has been done in live session, so you can check it out. Again, I will provide to, or I think the host of this will be able to provide this link. Just search for Krish Naik live stream playlist. You'll be getting the entire live stream over here. Okay. So with respect to that, you can refer this, you can follow this, and you can basically implement it. Because here, just in 1 hour, 30 minutes, I cannot just do the retraining for everyone and probably showcase everything, every details in it. So in this particular videos, you have 1 hour, 2 hour session. There you can actually learn about it. Okay. So yes, this was it from my side. I think you can check it out. More things in my YouTube channel. And yes, we have parallelly started, you can say that we have started 15 hours live session today. See, if you go and search for Krish Naik, today we are starting 15 hours live session. It is completely by industrial standards. So here you can see that it is going on. And this 15-hour session will be till tonight. We will be implementing a lot of end-to-end data science projects. So here, all the data science projects you'll be able to see. It'll be pretty much fun. Just go and check it out. See, all this research papers discussion is going on. And you can actually implement a lot of things. There they are trying to showcase the end-to-end projects over here itself, right? So you can also go over here and check it out. So this was it from my side. Akshat, Shreya. Yeah.
Yes, sir,
Yes.
and it was one very informative session. Yeah, Shreya, you can continue.
Okay, so we have some questions from our audience for you. So the first question that Ratna has is, how data science is important for an entrepreneur?
See, nowadays, who is an entrepreneur? Entrepreneur is someone who is trying to solve some specific problem, right? And based on that, he is basically creating a solution for it, right? Nowadays, what entrepreneur does is that they just try to see a problem in near their end, and they are coming up with such an amazing problem, amazing solution for that, right? And that is how, now just imagine, I was just seeing a survey last week, every month there are more than 1,000 startups that have been created, and more than 80% of the startups are working on AI. So just imagine that how many problem statements they may be thinking of, right? And AI has the capability to solve those kind of problems itself. Yes, Shreya? I hope I have answered that.
Yes, sir, you have answered that. And there are some, like, just a minute. Am I audible? Just a
Yeah, you are.
network issue. Yeah. So, sir, some people want to go into data analyst field and some want to go into data science field. So literally there are people outside there who mix both the fields, like they use data science and data analyst terms as synonyms of each other. So what would you like to say on this? Like, what are the important
So
things that
that
should?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
so that is the reason why I had actually shown you the presentation, right? To make you clearly understand what all work is basically done by data analysts and data scientists. See, as a data scientist, and nowadays people are getting paid more if you become a data scientist. But even though you, and the reason is that sometimes data scientists can do the work of data analyst itself. But you should understand that data analyst is more towards analyzing the data, creating amazing reports, sharing it to the stakeholders and all, right? And if I take one step more ahead, basically, if I want to go towards a data scientist, then I'll try to understand about models, algorithms, I'll try to train the model, hyperparameter tune the model, and do many more things. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So there is another question from Shubhanjan Basu. Sir,
Mhm.
can doing plenty of good end-to-end life cycle projects supplement the fact of experience in data science industry for freshers?
Yeah, obviously. So I always tell that fresher, just make sure that you implement end-to-end projects, share with as much people as you can, and always try to get some internship when you are still in the college. That is very, very much important. If you are able to get the internship, you really have a bright future, because in the internship they will guide you, they'll groom you. The companies will guide and groom you. They'll make you much more better, and they will really, really, polish you like anything to work in the data science field. And once you have started, you'll definitely be able to do a whole lot of things.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So I just want to tell you that me and many of my friends have watched your machine learning and deep learning playlist completely at least twice. So that they are amazing. Like
Thank
you
you.
just share free knowledge out there without taking any money, or just an amazing thing. So here is another question. Like this is a type of question we daily come across. What is the use of data structures and algorithms in field of data science?
So see this. There is a thing, right? Whenever you construct a building, what the builder will do is that he'll try to construct the base very strong, right?
Yeah,
So data
foundation.
structure
Yeah.
foundation very strong, right? So in order to have a good foundation in a programming language, right? Data structures and algorithms are very, very good to have.
Okay. So yeah, so these were the questions we had from our audience. And there's one last question, as we know that there are some time constraint, and you were streaming your 15 hours whole playlist.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
so we won't take much of your time. So
Mhm.
there's just one last question, and I guess he's a fresher. Can we
Mhm.
get a job on basis of ML only as a freshman?
Yes,
So
yes.
I think you have
If
answered that question. Yeah. To
you
end-to-end
just have
projects.
to,
Yeah.
yeah, implement as much as end-to-end projects in different domain. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing, sir. That's so. Thank you, sir, for enlightening us with your knowledge, and we are so happy to have you with us. In fact, I'm not believing right now that I'm talking to you. So, thank you so much, sir,
No
and thank
problem.
you everyone for attending the session. Due to time constraint, as we know that everyone has their own time issues, so we will be ending the session in 3 minutes. So you can just ask any last questions, or yeah. So we have another question. What is the scope of data science in finance industry, and how can we enter that field?
Finance is pretty vast, so there are a lot of things that the companies do in finance. If you really want to, and again, it's just not like one thing, but there is a huge scope altogether. And if you really want to get that scope or get into finance, you basically have to work on your financial topics. You need to get that domain. Finance is very, very tough also, guys. It's not that easy. So it's all like work in different financial thing, and it depends like which all things you want to work on. So always make sure that if you're planning to get into finance, first of all, try to have or gain the much more domain knowledge in that. Okay.
Okay, sir. So one more question that we have
Yeah.
for you is, what kind of project should beginners start with?
Beginner can start with any domain project if you really want to know a data set. There are different platforms. Recently, I think I had also made a video like Paper with Code has come up with more than 3,000 plus data set, right? So you can also use them for your research purpose. in any domain. You just try to take any domain, try to take that particular data set, convert it to an end-to-end project. That is what a fresher should do.
Okay, so sir, this was my personal question to you. That can you please share your journey towards data science with us? So was it very experimental, or you have planned, or you have like getting advice from seniors? Like what? How did you start with data
No, so
science?
it was like I started by mistake, So then I took it as a profession. So once we had created a project on .NET, and later on we got award for that particular project, considering it as an AI application. At that time, I heard about it first time, and then I spoke to my friends who were doing the higher education from US and IITs. Then they gave me an idea. Okay, this is what is an AI. Then I liked it. I liked the idea. I liked a lot of problem statements could be solved, and started working on it. I started learning it, and probably after 3 to 4 months, I made a switch towards that. And then the rest is history. Then I started working on it, and I started. The reason also why I opened my YouTube channel was that because whatever problems I faced while learning, you know. In that particular way, I thought that other people will definitely find it very, very difficult because I had some of my friends who were there to help me out. But for other people who really want to get into this field, they don't have that many people, right? So that is the reason why I started uploading videos.
Okay, so I personally find your virtual interview sessions very informative and very useful. Okay, thank you, sir, for enlightening us with your knowledge. You have created a new spark in our data science summit, honestly. And we honestly want you to stay more with us, but we understand that the entire time constraint issues. So we will be
Yeah.
concluding this session for now. Thank you, sir, and thank you
Yeah.
everyone who is watching this.
Yeah, sure. I don't have any problem. I'll try to again come back whenever later in
Yeah,
the
and also
time.
one thing I would like to say that if anyone wants to pursue a course in data analysis, data science, and other field, then he can check out iNeuron.ai, and the best thing is sir will personally teach him there.
Yeah, so it's an
Am I right, sir?
affordable
Yeah.
course. Yeah, so it's an affordable course, guys. It's not like we are charging 1 lakh or 2 lakh. It's just like 3540, 3,540. Nothing, and there. You'll also be getting internships. You'll get an opportunity to work in a real world project, and so that is the initiative we have started, and probably let's see how it will go up.
I would like to wish you all the best for that initiative, and we will support it too. So thank you,
Thank you.
sir, and thank you everyone. So let's just conclude the session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Akshat. Thank you, Akshat. Thank you, Shreya. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome,
Bye
sir.
bye.